On today's live daily news, a girl missing from Galveston is found near Sterling City. We'll have details. Some scary moments as cell phone service goes down nationwide. We'll have details. And an early voting for the March primary election is busy in Tom Green County. Those stories and more coming up. I'm Matt Cottrell, and this is Live. We'll get to those stories in just a moment, but first, need a new driveway? How about your parking lot? What about your ranch road? Well, now's the time to get it repaved. San Angelo-based Mac Asphalt and Paving is ready to get to work for you right now. Go to macasphaltpaving.com and request a free, no-obligation quote. They're offering heavily discounted repaving and paving packages right now. If you've been thinking about paving your driveway, parking lot, or ranch road, get a quick turnaround quote while you can save a whole lot. Do so by going to macasphaltpaving.com. A teen girl who went missing while her family was vacationing in Galveston and was the subject of a nationwide Amber Alert has been found near Sterling City. According to the Sterling City Sheriff's Office, Gabriela Faith Cato was reported missing early Tuesday. She was found on a northbound Greyhound bus by the Sterling City County Sheriff. Read that story on SanAngeloLive.com. A local seafood restaurant is calling it quits. The Crab on Knickerbocker has decided to close their doors. According to their Facebook page, the Crab thanks all their customers, and while this restaurant is closing, they will be opening another in Odessa called Crab City. And early voting for the March primary in Texas begins Tuesday and has been steady at polling locations in Tom Green County. According to Tom Green County Elections Administrator Vonna Hudson, 1,500 voters had cast ballots in the primary election as of Thursday morning. 100 voted in the Democratic primary and 1,400 had voted in the Republican primary. The ballot includes candidates for President of the United States Senate, and Congress. And here in Tom Green County, the race for state representative in House District 72, where incumbent Drew Darby is being challenged by Stormy Bradley. There's more on that story and all that stuff only on SanAngeloLive.com. Hey guys, have you downloaded the new San Angelo Live app yet? It's our all-new mobile app, and it's available now both on the Apple Store and on the Google Play Store. So both Apple phone users and Android users can get the app. The latest news stories are delivered directly to those phones, and you'll have them immediately. That's the all-new San Angelo Live mobile app, and it's available now. Also, cell phone service has been restored after several hours of nationwide outage, mostly on the AT&T network. I experienced this myself today. The outage left AT&T customers stranded without phone service. The outage caused interruption in service for tens of thousands of customers across the country and prompted an investigation by federal authorities. Read that story and find out what happened on SanAngeloLive.com. Let's talk about weather. Temperatures have cooled off a bit with the passage of a cold front Wednesday night. Friday will be the coolest day over the next 5 days with a high of 70 degrees, but warmer conditions begin Saturday, and the afternoon high will be back up near 90 degrees by Monday. There's still no rain in the forecast, unfortunately, for the Concho Valley for the next 10 days. When we come back, we will have sports with good old Ryan Chadwick, and then 2 interviews today, actually. The first with LaQuita Shelbourne, and the second with Sara Ross with Fort Concho. But first, let's hear a word from the Bass Bunch.
We have some breaking news to report from Jim Bass Ford. According to our sources at Jim Bass, you can get 1.9% financing for 72 months on 2023 Ford F-150s. We are told that this offer is good through April 2nd, so hurry to Jim Bass Ford. at the corner of Houston Hart and Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com. Thank you for watching, and we now return you to our regular programming.
Playoffs for high school basketball in the state of Texas continue tomorrow, and several teams around the Concho Valley made it to the next round. First up, the San Angelo Central Bobcats travel to Clyde to take on Keller High School in the area round. That game tips off at 6:30 p.m. Next, the TLCA Eagles travel to Haskell to play Holiday for their area round matchup. The Wall Hawks also won on Tuesday and travel to Anson to play City View. Tip-off for both games is 6:30 p.m. In 2A action, Sterling City plays New Home in Big Spring at 7 p.m. tonight, and Reagan County travels to Big Spring tomorrow to play Ropes, again at 7. Finally, the Erie County Hornets kick off 1A action against Buena Vista in Hermley. Robert Lee plays Marfa in Garden City at 2 p.m. on Friday. On the ladies' side, the Cristobal Lady Cougars play Farwell in the regional semifinal on Friday at South Plains College in Levelland. Tip-off for that game is at 6:30 p.m. In 1A action, the Erie County Lady Hornets play Westbrook in their regional semifinal matchup in Snyder at Western College at 4 p.m. Robert Lee plays Eula immediately after at 6:30. Good luck to all our Concho Valley athletes this weekend. And for more sports around the Concho Valley and beyond, be sure to check in every day at sanangelolive.com/news/sports.
This month only, mix and match cleaning and disinfecting services and save big with Carpetech. For example, get your carpet clean, save 10%. Get your carpet and tile clean, save 15%. Or get your carpet and tile and air ducts clean, save 20%. Call Carpetech today, 325-735-5142.
If your home is in a wreck, call Carpetech, yeah.
We are recording. We'll go live in 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to the show. Joining me again today is LaQuita Shelbourne with the Concho Valley Republican Women.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hey, you've had a busy month, and you also just got back from a pretty big, important meeting.
Yes, I took 7 women. We went to the leadership conference down in Georgetown for TFRW, so Texas Federation of Republican Women.
All right, and how was that? This is in the heart of the center of a political cycle.
It is. We saw Rick Perry.
Okay.
He was one of the keynotes, and very interesting because he said, you know, now your big concern needs to be water.
Oh, well, yeah.
Which, I mean, all the Texans, we were all sitting there going, yeah, tell us something we don't know. But he was very good, and he talked about the presence of the Permian Basin and what that means not only to the country but to the world. And then how are we going to continue to supply water for people that are moving into this state?
That is a major concern, especially right now. The lake levels are low. There's no rain in the forecast.
Right.
And
it's fixing to get hot.
And it's fixing to get really hot, yeah. Mm-hmm. So interesting times as far as water is concerned. Mm-hmm. Early voting started today in the primary, the Texas primary, and Super Tuesday is March 5th. So
yes, and we've got people out there from CVRW working hard, helping them with the polls. You know, Vonna needed people, and so they've been trained, and we've got more people that are willing to be trained, and so we're doing the best we can. Tomorrow we'll be going down to the naturalization ceremony down at the courthouse.
That's right.
And so we'll be participating in that. We have a big meeting coming up on Thursday where we will bring back Dr. Dana Meyer and her husband, John.
Okay.
And so Dr. John and Dr. Dana will be here at our meeting on Thursday. I think it'll be very entertaining, but the thing that I would say, this will be my 4th time to see her speak. She announced while we were at the leadership conference that she's going to try for the chairman of the GOP in Texas.
Okay.
So I think it's important that people come out and find out a little bit more about her. But she has some great information about the college level students and what's they're being indoctrinated with and that sort of thing. And so I think because we have a college campus here in San Angelo, that should be of importance to people.
Okay.
And we're supposed to have Drew Darby and Stormy Bradley are supposed to be there too, and they'll be given 5 minutes apiece to just make their pitch, I guess, last pitch there. And we're expecting a big crowd. We had 110 people last time, and we're expecting at least that again.
And this is out of Bentwood.
It's out at Bentwood, starts at 11:30. We try to have people out of there by 1 o'clock.
Okay.
We went to 1:10, I think, last time, but if people need to go back, they went ahead and went. But we were seeing all the constables and everybody that was running for office.
Okay. And we're right in the middle of, well, right in the middle. We're at the start of early voting.
Yes.
And so it's, again, one of the last opportunities they'll have to try and earn your vote.
Yes. And, and this is what I would say. I think, I wrote this out to all the CVRW members, do not give up your vote. That is the most important thing. Don't think, well, mine doesn't count, or, oh, it looks like it's going a different direction. People need to get out there and exercise that right.
Because there are critical races at the local, state, and national level.
Exactly. We've got some very critical races, and we've got a lot of undue influence from other places.
That's very
and
true.
So I always ask myself, why are people from all these other areas interested in Little Oaks and Angelo and Tom Green County in this district? That seems strange to me.
It is definitely unusual. I haven't seen it this intense, and
No.
I've been here around a long time. I've seen a lot of mailers
yes.
in my time, but
We
I've
all
never
have.
seen the number that I've gotten this trip.
No, and that's another thing too. I just said, the voting's coming up, and the mailers just keep coming. So it's very interesting time. And I sat up the other night and watched what y'all had done on the interview with Drew, and I've watched other things. I'm have to be right in the middle and unbiased, but I'm trying myself. I'm trying to figure everything out, and I don't blame the public for being concerned.
Absolutely, and there's so much information and misinformation out there
Exactly.
that you really have to be careful what you
That's right.
what you consider. Now, and a lot of folks don't know this, but we do because we've been through it. Is that this is a primary election?
Mm-hmm.
This is where each party chooses its nominee,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to get 50% plus one of the vote, or there'll be a runoff if there's more than two people. That would be in May.
Mm-hmm.
And then from a party standpoint, if I understand this right, the Texas Republican Party is meeting in July.
No, we're meeting in May.
In May, that's right. It was
And
previous
in March, we'll put our planks together that we want to take to the state. So that's another thing. I think I would encourage people to get a hold of your precinct chairs and tell them you're willing to go and become a part of that. My husband and I went last, and we were delegates, and I learned a huge amount.
There's a lot of party politics that takes place, and this will be in San Antonio.
Yes.
23rd,
24th, and 25th of May.
They write the credentials as who can attend, and then the platform is what the party
We'll put it together here.
stands for. Mm-hmm. And that's all. And then you'll also elect delegates to the national convention, mm-hmm. which is in August, I think.
Probably.
And both parties will do that, not on the same timeline, the Democrats and the Republicans. And that determines, this primary election will determine who's going to be on the ballot in November. But what they're going to stand for is what the parties do.
That's right. They're supposed to take to Washington what we as people want.
That's correct, and that's why it's important. What else? Early voting?
Well, I'll tell you a couple of new things that we're doing. We are setting up an actual rodeo chairperson this year, which we have not had before. We've kind of just all leaned on Elaine Moore, and so now we're going to actually have somebody. Rita Pepe's going to take that over.
Okay.
And so we'll kick it off. We don't get points or anything with TFRW or NFRW for doing the rodeo parade for San Angelo, but we get local points for people because they like what we do. They wave at us and say hi, And then I'm setting up a literacy committee, which we haven't had, and so that will be to help put in the school some historical books. There's a Mamie Eisenhower group that's put together of things, literature that they think would be good for young people. And I hope that I can get some people that are maybe retired and stuff, unlike myself, to get out there and go to the libraries and read to these children and do some things. I want us to be present. I want us to have a footprint in Tom Green County, bigger than what we have right now, because we have a wonderful group of people in the Concho Valley Republican Women. They've been here since 1980. They started out with some really great leaders way back then, and I just want us to continue that effort because we are for people and we want what's best for people. And so that's where we're all about. And, I try to say there's certain things that we would do. It wouldn't matter if we were Republicans or not.
Well, there you go. Of course, we could talk all day about Republican politics. I guess we shouldn't, though. But
probably not.
Anyway, this is where I generally forget something. So, LaQuita, if I have, now's your opportunity.
Well, I just want people to call and make a reservation, and you can find that on our CVRW website. You can make a reservation there. It's $20. Come to Bentwood. We had a large crowd last time. I think we'll have a good crowd this time, and I think it'll be of interest to people. And I definitely want them to hear Dr. Dana and Dr. John, but Dr. Dana's the speaker.
That sounds important. And thanks for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, we'll have more to talk about later on.
I bet we will. Back to you guys in the studio.
Talking about being a conservative is easy, especially come election time, but delivering actual conservative results is very different. As your state representative, I'm proud to have passed the strongest state-led border security bill in the nation, the largest property tax cut in Texas history, and more school safety funding to protect our children. These aren't campaign talking points, they're real conservative results, delivered. I'm Drew Darby, and I'm asking for your vote to keep up this important work.
If you have been injured, call J. Chandler Law. You want an honest partner who will tell it to you straight. A proven advocate right here in town. Together, let's hold them accountable.
And welcome back to the show. Joining me today is Sara Ross with Fort Concho. Sara, I'm glad you're back.
Thank you for having me back.
I know that you had a little time off in December, January, but you're about to get busy again.
We're about to get, I took a couple of weeks off, limited so. I went to go see my niece, and now I'm back, and we're back and about to get into it.
And this is Black History Month.
Yes.
And this coming weekend is Buffalo
Soldier Heritage Day. And it's a Fort Concho specific holiday. We at the end, last Sunday of February every year at 2 p.m., we have a get together of some sort and we celebrate Black history somehow. And this year, we're going to be out with Shirley Spears. The NAACP joins us for this. Shirley Spears will all start at the Buffalo Soldier Memorial across the road.
Memorial.
Yeah. And they're doing a celebration right now in San Antonio about the 24th Infantry. And there's a lot of coming to light about the history of Buffalo Soldiers that hasn't previously been noted. And a lot of that's being exposed and opened up at San Antonio. And she's going to take all that knowledge and she's going to bring it to a Sunday at the memorial. And then once she finishes up her talk, we have Jim Matthews. He's going to be coming out and meeting us at Barracks 1. Do you know that new Buffalo Soldier exhibit?
Yes.
He's going to be there. It's brand new. It's one of the best in the country, and we want to take a moment just to celebrate it because it's everything anyone needs to know for Buffalo Soldiers.
Well, and that's a feather in the cap for San Angelo and for Fort Concho because this is where they were.
Yeah.
They were all stationed here.
Every single one of the regiments were stationed at Fort Concho. Yeah. You know what I'm realizing, though? There's a lot of people who don't actually know about Buffalo Soldiers. Can I say something really quick?
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
We take for granted that, we know what the Buffalo Soldiers are, but a lot of people in the audience don't.
Yeah, well, so following the Civil War, African-American men were allowed to join the military in these new regiments that Congress had allowed to form, and they were specifically to be black soldiers, partially because of recruiting. White officers wanted white soldiers in their regiments, and so in order to prevent that, they made black-specific regiments, and that is the 9th and 10th Cavalry, the 24th and 25th Infantry. And they are the original African-American men to join the military until desegregation in the 20th century. And they were all stationed at Fort Concho, and we take a moment to celebrate it.
And again, that's a fantastic thing for the city of San Angelo and for Fort Concho, for this area of the state to have that part of history, to be a part of that.
Yeah. And
now, this weekend, there's also going to be some noise out there. We need to warn people that you're going to hear some cannon fire.
Oh, yeah. If you're anywhere near the fort, I'm so sorry in advance. Sunday morning, all the folks who've come out, we have about 60 folks participating this year.
Okay.
It's the Lowell Train Artillery class. We host the United States Field Artillery Association. Their chapter, Lowell Train, comes out, trains them all weekend. Sunday morning, they set off a lot of black powder. So if you happen to be bored Sunday morning and looking for an activity, we'll be starting up around 9 a.m. and finishing up around noon.
That'll be a fun one. That'll be fun to go watch and hear. And then we're running up to the end of the month, and that means March is going to be here, and spring break's going to be here. So you've got a lot more stuff coming up real quick.
Absolutely, and then we have April. But March 12th and 14th, we're going to do our afternoon tea again, and tickets go on sale next week. So fortconcho.com, tickets will be ready to be purchased. We're going to be doing like we did last year, where my ladies of Fort Concho will be hosting the public from 2 to 3 p.m. March 12th and 14th, which is a Tuesday, Thursday. And we'll play parlor games. We'll go into what food was available in our area for these evening events or these day events. And the parlor games is like 19th century parlor games. And it's so funny watching people run around like animals at the event.
I can't imagine. It sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is. And then my big event of the year is coming up. We're having Garrison Days.
Okay.
So School of the Soldier has been this event we've been doing for the past couple of years. It's where we actually have gentlemen from all over the country join us that are getting new into living history. Okay. Those who've been in it for a while, we all come together and we learn what it meant to be a certain time period soldier. And this year we're doing September of 1883.
Okay.
It's right after the Ben Ficklin flood.
Well, that makes sense here then.
And then, so the history, all the interpreters across site are going to have a guide to talk to the public about where the military was standing. All the buildings that are present at the event are also the ones that were present in 1883.
Okay.
And so the soldiers will be sent out on details. The quartermaster actually had given out a bunch of his canvas for the flood. And so he's going to be there in charge of making sure that all the canvas was returned. The ladies will be building up some bread to give to the enlisted men as a camaraderie thing. We'll be walking around pretentious as all get out on Officers Row. And yeah, it'll be taking place. We all show up March 15th and we'll start at 6 a.m. on March 16th.
Okay.
And we'll finish up March 17th at 2 p.m.
Okay. Now, all this information, dates and times, is on your website and social media.
Absolutely. Our website, fortconcho.com, and our Facebook, Fort Concho National Historic Landmark.
Okay. Have I forgotten anything, Sarah?
I think we've hit all the nails on the head. Okay. I'll see you next month. I'll tell you about April.
Then we can talk more about that then.
Sounds good.
All right. Back to you guys in the studio.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Conno's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Conno's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Conno stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Conno's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Well, that's it, guys. Once again, thank you all for joining us on our live daily news show. We really appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we appreciate all the letters that you send to the editor, the comments on Facebook, your engagement. All that stuff means a whole lot to us, guys. We pride ourselves on being the #1 news source, locally owned, the only one that's locally owned, by the way, and we get that information and news out to you first, and we pride ourselves on that as well. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.